Alright, welcome everybody. After some slight technical difficulties there, we are here for round 5 of the PCDC ACC League. Your directing and commentary today will be me, Son of Stuff Mail, and my co-commentator Pedro. Ooh. Oh, he is here.
Yeah, hi everyone.
And before we go into the action of our endurance round today, we'll take a quick look at how the track lines up today. So today we're of course at the Suzuka International Racing Course, which is in the Mie Prefecture in Japan. The track has 18 turns and is about 5.807 kilometers long and 3.609 miles long. The race format for today will be a 30-minute warm-up, which is coming to a close. Then we'll have 15 minutes of qualifying, and then we will have a 90-minute race. So today we're having an endurance race. It's a 90-minute race with one mandatory pit stop, although fuel and tires are optional during the pit stop. So people can elect to just go without fuel or without tires. They can just come in, lift the car up onto the jacks, and then get going again. Before we go to qualifying as well, let's take a look at how the champion standings are for now. So, at the moment, in number 1 on the standings is Marcus Lawrence, of course. In second is Vincent Erbrich, who unfortunately will not be competing again this season, I believe. Then in third we have Aronsman, Denesi in fourth, Layson in fifth, Benzel in sixth, Wansink in seventh, Taylor in eighth, Hawa in ninth, Nergesh in 10th, Falkenberg in 11th, Stuffer in 12th, Daniels in 13th, Parnell in 14th, Springer in 15th, Hurst 16th, Van der Hudding 17th, 18th de Jong, then Arnold in 19th, Friedrich in 20th, Person in 21st, then Short, Ford, then Dealey in 24th, then Fretwell, then Prebill, then Kessel, then Tuck, then the Knechts, and to round off the grid we have Knuckle in 30th. Or to round out the championship, I should say. And then also a quick look at the team standings. So in first we still have Sven Racing with 113 points. They got a quite significant lead now over the second team, which is AOSP, because Priory Racing, of course, lost their first driver, which is Vincent Erbrich. So they dropped down all the way to 13th because they found another driver in place of Vincent now. Spenala in third, Missed Apex in fourth, Benny de Bentley in fifth, ARC Motorsports in sixth, Lexus Race in seventh, H7K Racing in eighth, Boris de Bentley in ninth, Cruising Waffle Racing in 10th, Mad Mac Lads in 11th, Team Laud Have Mercy in 12th, then we have Priory Racing, and then Versailles Racing in 14th. So with that being said, we should be able to move on to qualifying here. Here we go. So Pedro, how are you feeling about the track today? Suzuka, do you like the track?
I really enjoy the track, but it's I think it for most of us, or most of sim racers, it's one of those tracks that we enjoy but we are not good at. It's like it's really difficult to improve on.
Yeah, definitely a pretty long track as well. A lot of technical sections as well. I think, you know, the S section is very technical, and you have to get that entirely right to get a good lap time.
Even though it's technical, it's a power track. For example, most of the cars that we are going to see doing well are going to be power cars. For example, I think we are going to see the the Lexus, probably the Nissan, the Lamborghini are probably going to be surprised cars, like are going to have a better performance than previously here.
Yeah, I would imagine as well that although no one is really running the BMW, I think maybe there's some people. I'm not sure. I think we only have like 1 or 2 BMWs. They would be really good, I think, on this track probably, just because of the long straights. And I think the BMW is the fastest car on the straight. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how the cars line up. Of course, we don't really know how the BOP is done on this track, which is also a factor,
yes.
of course.
Yeah, you are right. But usually, even though it's a technical track, the power has a big effect on this track.
Yeah. Obviously, we will definitely see the typical cars with a lot of power doing good, and yeah, like you mentioned, the brands before, they will definitely be have a step up here probably. Let's see, it's on a flying lap here. Oh, the person we were watching, actually, Robbie Hawa, at the moment is on a flying lap. They've, of course, I'm not sure if you have the skin pack, but we now have some custom skins on the grid, Pedro, so there's some nice looking cars out there now.
We hope so. I really enjoy like the look of the instance of Kevin Helm, even though it's like simple. I don't know if it's custom or not, but like I just like simple cars.
Yeah, that's we're hoping for next season to get a like an actual skin pack, so everyone can make a skin with some, not only have the custom skins, or only have the custom skins on the grid, which would make it really nice. But there we go, Levens Martins and Aronsman. Actually, that's a 2 minute flat on the board, which is a very decent time, I think. As we know, of course, Aronsman, a guy to watch, because we've seen him perform really well over the last couple of races, but he always falls just a little bit short to win the race. But maybe today he can turn it around. Here. Someone else looking to improve is Morgan Short.
I think Arsman against Marcus is going to have a bigger trouble because the Merc is probably going to be way better on the straights than Kialami.
Yeah, that'll be interesting
if
to
you
see.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he had already problems overtaking on that track, and he was on a faster car, and now on the technical part it's almost impossible to follow, especially on the S's. And on this power part, the Mercedes is probably better. So
yeah, it'll be definitely interesting to see. I do, however, think of as we see Lawrence now coming in with the fastest time so far of 59.6. I think though, if Aronsman manages to get pole position, that he has a good chance of winning. Because I think last times around, he was always kind of in the dirty air of the cars in front, and he has difficulties overtaking. But I think if he can actually be in the lead or at some point overtake Lawrence, that he'll have the chance to run away with it. But again, yeah, we don't know really how the cars perform up to each other on the track, so
I don't want to put a curse on him, but he had a really bad start on the last race. He went from I believe second to fourth or first to fourth. So let's see if he has a better start today.
Yeah, definitely. As we see the grid starting to line up a bit better now. So in the meanwhile, we've had Morgan Short still in third, Valkenburg in fourth. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, Denacy in fifth. That's definitely a good position for him to start because he is always. I think he's a bit better in race pace than he is quali pace. And then I think is Layson. Then Hawa, the teammate of Denacy, of course. Then Domi Person, but we do see quite a discrepancy between the top two and the rest of the field because the difference between P2 and P3 is 1.6 seconds, so that's quite a bit.
Yeah, and we should aim for the 59s to like really low twos. That's the time that they should aim for. And I think even Lawrence can be a little bit faster. Even though what I saw lap time wise, that's a really good time from Lawrence already. I don't know if like him himself can do better, but that's a good lap time already. So good benchmark.
Yeah, definitely, and especially seeing as no one at the front seems to be really improving here, we might see his first lap being his best, so to say. Because yeah, in the top 10 no one is really making any gains on their lap time, so yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Meanwhile, Kevin Elms here on a very good lap, currently in P14, but he's up almost a second now on his time. We should see him move up at least a couple positions, so let's see as he comes out the last corner here and comes across the line. See where he moves up to. Oh, he actually stays. Oh no, he's in 13th. Okay. Not bad by Elms there. See a bit further down the grid. Take a look at Andy Howard coming across the line. Improvement of about 1.2 seconds. I don't think that will move him up necessarily, but at least draw him a bit closer. Just behind Tuck there. Less than a 10. But yeah, with about 5 minutes remaining, no one in the top 10 really seems to be improving, so that'll be interesting, except for, now that I mention it, Morgan Short here. If he gets this together, it should be about a 3/10 improvement. 3/10 improvement as he comes across the line. Yeah, so only about 1.5 seconds off the pole time so far.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't put the time. For sure, Frederick on the McLaren is having some trouble on this track, I believe. Let's see where he's going to be at.
Yeah, someone else who's struggling quite a bit, now that you mentioned it, is Jordan Wansink. He's in 14th, and he's, I mean, usually his pace is kind of, around the top 5 or something, so to see him about 3.6 seconds off, that's quite far off for him, but he is on a way to improve his lap by at least 1.6 seconds, so should see him move up.
Interesting. Leishon is going to improve his lap too, but it's not enough. Well, he's getting some though.
Yeah, so Jordan Wansink is, if he can keep this together, is looking at a massive improvement at about 1.7 seconds, so he gets the braking completely right here for the last chicane. A bit of a poor run out of there, I think, but still about 1.7 seconds up. Let's see where that moves him. That's a definite top 5 there, perhaps. Oh, actually 6th, okay. 6th place for one sync so far.
And Leishon either had a invalid lap time, or the competition was just too good.
Yeah.
So he's 9.
Yeah, so everyone, that's we're nearly coming up to the point here where you can only do one more lap. So around the 2-minute mark is whenever we'll cross the line. That's going to be their last lap.
Yeah, the Nazy is on. It's gonna be around P4, P5, which is very good for him. No, he lost some time on that last chicane. Yeah, P6.
Yeah, still very, very decent for him.
Yes.
So again, I think the AC usually makes up a lot of his quali in the race. So see how that turns out.
Leishon is having a big toe from one thing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see here. Definitely, because we're coming on to 130R here. So Layson in the slipstream of one sync here. Let's see if he can improve his time. He's up at 0.6 seconds at the moment, 6/10. He gets 130R right. Seems to nail it. This could potentially put him up to... It is going to put him up to P5, I believe. He crosses the line. Oh, P3 actually. Wow.
Yeah.
Massive gain there for Layson.
Like I said, it's a very good power track, Suzuka. It doesn't seem like it because of the layout, but the straights are just too powerful.
Yeah, definitely the back straight going onto 130R. That's where power can really make up a lot of time.
Yeah, and the straight before spoon, that it's deceiving. It doesn't seem like it's important, but it is, and the start finishing straight too. Okay.
So qualifying is coming to an end. The drivers have 2 minutes to complete their lap. If they don't, this will be the end for them. But we are looking at a couple of people to still make an improvement, like Morgan Short at the moment, who's on the screen. He's looking at about half a second to 6/10 improvement at the moment. We'll see how we can hook up this lap. I think most people have already are already in the pits. So.
Oh, Short is going for a big improvement.
Yeah. So let's see, 130R, that looks fairly good. Into the braking, let's see if he hooks up the chicane. Looks to me like he does. About half a second up. That might put him into P3 here. Let's see as he comes across the line. Yeah, P3 for Short. Really good qualifying from Short there. And then I think we have most people across the line. I don't think we're seeing any improvements. Already in the pits. One of the only persons on track is Fretwell. He doesn't seem to be improving his lap. No. So, we will be back in about 5 minutes for you with the complete grid rundown, and we will see you in a bit. All right, so we return as our drivers are on their formation lap, and I will give you a quick rundown of the grid. So in first we have Marcus Lawrence. In second we have Thomas Arensman. In third we have Morgan Short. In fourth we have Joshua Layson in the Ferrari. Then in fifth we have Timo Renikari. Then we have Robbie Hawa in sixth. Denesi in seventh. Jordan Wansink in eighth. Samuel Falkenberg in ninth. Harby in 10th. Balint Nergish in 11th. And we have Person in 12th. Arild in 13th. And then we have Daniels in 14th. In 15th we have Elms. Then we have Luke Levens Martin in 16th. Phillips in 17th. In 18th we have Friedrich in the McLaren. Then we have Tuck in 19th. Howard in 20th. Sharma in 21st. And Fretwell in 22nd to run off the grid in his Aston Martin. So as we come to the back straight here, we should see the cars starting to form up soon. I think it's right before the last chicane there. We see everyone's trying to warm their tires desperately. Of course, this race is heading into the night, where you can see the time at the top, of course. So the time is 7:08 at the moment, so we should see this race heading into the dark, and there is, a chance that it will rain, knowing the climate of Japan in general. A lot of weather cyclones and stuff, so there is a possibility for rain always. So as we come to the last corner here, everyone is bunching up into the double file. We'll see here as our leader Marcus Lawrence is lining up. Arensman right next to him. Again, qualifying was quite close between these two, so we might see quite a battle here. Obviously, the finish line is the one just before the lights there, not the early one like they have in some series. So we wait for the green light, and we have the green light for round 5 at Suzuka for the PCDC ACC League. Going into turn 1, Arensman again, quite a poor start it seems. Lawrence heads into turn 1 completely clean. Take a look further back, everyone getting through cleanly, hopefully. Looks fairly clean. Alright, very nice. Oh, a bit of contact there in the midfield. Not sure who that was. But right out of the gates, I think Arensman looking hungry behind Lawrence here. Right on the heels, so we'll see how that plays out.
I think the stream has no game audio.
Yep, I just turned it on. I just saw.
Okay. Yeah, we corrected. Sorry for the viewers. Oh, someone off on the airpin. And I think, I believe it's... Let me see who it is. Oh, I think it's Short.
Yeah, it could be correct, actually.
From the looks of the skin, being a Mercedes and because he was well positioned and he had to wait a lot. was very weird. How can he spin before the hairpin?
Yeah, it's definitely a strange one because I'm not sure how you can spin into the hairpin because that's yeah, I don't know, a very straightforward braking zone.
Well, but he got he's in the pits, so I believe he's out of the race.
Oh, Jordan Wansink there with a slight mistake. I just caught it on stream. Going into the first two corners, he kind of had the back brake out there a little bit, but he definitely has a bit of a train going on behind him here.
Frederick, it's out of the race too. Daniels and Sharma pitted on the first lap. I don't know if they had penalties or not.
Yeah.
So we already got to the queues. It's again Lawrence and Lars giving us a good battle on the front.
Yeah, Sharma with quite a bit of damage in the pit there. Ryan Daniels, I'm not sure what happened to him. His car looks fairly clean, so I'm not sure why he pulled into the pits, but he probably got some damage somewhere. But yeah, like you mentioned, Arnsman and Lawrence still quite close together, and of course that straightaway can make up a lot of time for Arnsman if he's in the slipstream.
Yeah, now I'm seeing everyone getting very split within 1 second, but I'm interested to know how Niergish is going to do on this race, because I believe he's in a very good car for this track.
Yeah, actually, Nergish, one of the guys to get a penalty since last race. I think he had a qualifying ban today, so that is something that is worth noting. I'm actually not sure if he, now that I think of it, I'm not sure if he actually knew that he had a qualifying ban. And he might have just qualified. But yeah, we'll see that later.
Probably got that out of the way or not. Ferrari tactics. Do the qualifying and blame it afterwards.
Anyway, we have Kevin Elms
it's
and
Danesi, right? Danesi on the hairpin.
What's going on?
Danesi spun on the hairpin. Oh no. Someone spun on the hairpin. Oh, it Leishon.
Did he now?
It was a teammate of Leishon. I can't.
So looking at it here at the front, I think Marcus Lawrence is slowly starting to build his race pace now, and he is putting in slightly better lap than Arnsman. It's the exact difference that they had between quali as well, where Arnsman was about 3/10 slower, and we're seeing that in the race now as well, with Lawrence posting 2 minutes and a half seconds, and Arnsman 2 minutes and 8/10. So the grid is splitting up a bit more, we still have Falkenberg, who is right behind Jordan Wansink, and he definitely seems to be closing up.
On this rhythm, we might have like a 45 lap race.
Ooh, Falkenberg for a very optimistic move around the outside, but that didn't pay off for him. Good defense from Wansink though. Going into the hairpin now.
Kevin Helms on the wall. Teammate of Tuck.
Look here at Elms.
Number 83.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has too much damage, at least from a visual standpoint, of course. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he had the normal problem on Suzuka, turning into the two right-handers before the bridge. And just crashed into the outside wall, left outside wall.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, I wouldn't call it necessarily a very tricky track, but there is definitely some places that can catch you out. Like, for instance, like you mentioned, the two right-handers there, they're very fast, and you're braking going into them while you're turning and stuff, so definitely tricky. As again, we see Falkenberg on the inside here going into turn 1. And he might actually pull it off here on Wansink as they go side by side into the S section. See Wansink just pulled ahead of Falkenberg there. Oh, in the meanwhile, Harby is actually closed up to the back of Falkenberg and Wansink as well, since they've been fighting so hard.
And Nergish is closing on the person. Oh.
Yeah, we definitely have a big group here. Oh, as Wansink actually went off. So Wansink goes from 7th position all the way to 11th. See if we can get a quick replay on that. Oh. Okay, I can actually get it up. Well, let's see what happened here to Wansink. So he's heading into the double right-hander. Ooh, and just takes a little bit too much of the curb on the inside, and that spits him out to the outside of the track. That's yeah, mistake that you'll see quite a lot here. If you cut that first curb a bit too much, you'll your car will usually get launched the other way. So that's unfortunate for him.
It's that turn, probably the last chicane. You can have such a bad exit if you don't do it well. Spoon is very tricky too. If you don't hit the apex very well, you can go wide and not have the best exit into the fast to the big straight, so you are not as fast as you would be.
Also, a battle that might be heating up soon here is between P17 and 18, Kevin Elms and Andy Howard. They've been quite close together, or maybe Elms actually overtook him. I think that's the more likely option there.
Yeah, Kevin Elms was last because he crashed, so...
Yeah, let's see, here's something else going on. So we do have Eddie Phillips there. Eddie Phillips with a slight mistake, which allows Elms...
Ooh!
Contact between Elms and Phillips there. Wow, that wasn't great. Don't know what happened there. Let's see if we can get a replay of that.
I think it was lack of room. Someone turned early.
Yeah, so still in the S section. So still side by side, side by side. Everything's going well. Ooh, it kind of looked like Elms maybe turned in a little bit too early there, not giving Phillips enough space there. But I'm sure we'll see after the race how it unfolded.
Yeah. The stewards will decide.
Exactly. Meanwhile, at the front, Lawrence has actually managed to build a small gap now over Arnsman, about 2 seconds. So yeah, I think the theory you had about more power on the straights might definitely be helping Lawrence here.
Rainy Carry is getting close to Leishan. And the Nazy is getting close to Hawa.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, definitely for P3.
But for me,
Go ahead.
the best battle is sorry to interrupt you. For me, the best battle is from P10 to P7, P6, I believe. They are all more or less between, like, for example, P10 to P9, 1 second, P9 to P8, 1 second, P8 to P7, 1 second. Oh, actually, P7 spun. Falkenberg. Falkenberg spun on the airpin.
Yeah, so we've also had a notification there from Morgan Short that he didn't spin. He actually, well, at least on his screen, he got hit by Layson, and then he got disconnected. So possibly some network issues there in the crash of Morgan, which is a real shame.
From Falkenberg?
No. This was all the way at the start of the race. Remember when Short was in the hairpin in the
Yeah.
So he said he disconnected right after he got crashed into. So might have been some network issues which caused some desync or something, which made him crash.
Because I saw immediately after, not immediately after, but Frederick on the straight just crash into the wall. It seemed like he had very harsh internet issue, and he disconnected after.
Yeah, that's definitely some people having issues with the network. I'm not sure if it's the server or it's on their side, but
Nah, it's a mechanical issue.
Ah, yes.
In iRacing, it's like that.
Meanwhile, we're
in iRacing, it's sim racing. Well, why did I say iRacing? Jeez.
Meanwhile, I don't know if you've noticed, but there is some dark clouds in the distance if you look closely. So I'm not sure if they have any rain to bring, but that could be interesting.
That would actually be awesome. For me.
There's no real battles going on, I believe. No.
Yeah, it's just close-ups. They get closer and then they reach the S's and they get apart again. I think this is going to be like who gets closer until the pits and who gets the better overcut or undercut.
Yeah, definitely. And again, if we get some rain or whatever, that could really shake up the grid a little bit.
Exactly.
So hopefully we do get some of that, because that would be very interesting for the broadcasts.
Oh, I'm interested to know the Nazi.
Go ahead.
The Nazi's been behind Hawa for a long time, and we know that he has a very strong pace during the race. You said that they have fuel for the whole race. Do they have to save? Do you know?
I know, by the way, Hawa and Denesi are also teammates, so this could be a bit of the issue here. I'm not sure if they have any communication between each other, but maybe Denesi is not really pushing his teammates just to be nice to him. I'm not sure. But fuel-wise, I think there is a couple of cars who can do the full race on their fuel, but they'll have to fuel save immensely, so I'm not sure if it's actually worth it, because I think it would actually, for most cars, I think it's better to just do a splash and not do any fuel saving, or like do proper refueling. So
one thing that I'm seeing a lot is, for example, I saw that on the Lexus. I'm seeing now on the Nazi. They are having a lot of drift, like wheel spinning on power. And that is not very good on tire conservation, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, some people elect to maybe run a bit lower traction control and might not have that much throttle control, or like can't conserve as much going on through the throttle. So yeah, that might be an issue later on into the race, which sees them really starting to get slower on corner exits and such.
Oh, Njergish and Domi. The battle for P8, sorry.
Yeah, as they're into
Domi
the
went
S's.
wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, Domi went wide and Njergish went into the inside, but Domi had the inside on the next turn. But it was a good opportunity.
Yeah, definitely close here, and One Sink is also very close to these guys, so it's a three-way battle here for P8.
Yeah, this is getting very heated up. Like, I believe that from P3 below, like P3 to P10, it's very interesting. Like we have P15, P16, the battle for P15, P15 and P16, but the rest is very spread up.
Yeah, this is definitely the action we need to be. Actually, Njergish, they're running a bit wide, which might compromise his run on the straight there. But again, I think the Porsche one of the slower cars on the straight, so One Sink definitely gonna struggle here on the back straight.
Okay, that explains why One Sink is not doing so well.
Yeah, I think the Lexus is at the top there, I think, near the BMW with the top speed, and I think the Porsche is one of the slowest cars on the straight, if I'm not mistaken. But then again, to make it up, the Porsche is one of the best cars on the brakes, so...
Isn't the Nissan too up there? Or the Nissan got BOP'd?
The Nissan is alright on straight line speed, I think. I think the Nissan is really good in the rain, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. I remembered when I started to play this game that the Nissan was very good on Monza. That's why everyone, like when it was Monza, everyone was on a Nissan.
Yeah, you know, the Nissan is very underrepresented because in general I think it's considered to be a car that's a little bit off the pace compared to the top cars, so not a lot of people choose it, and that's why, you know, you don't see a lot of people running with it. But I think we've seen before that some people can make it work, especially if it rains. That's really good for the Nissan, because then it's one of the best cars, actually.
It's just so weird how the Nissan looks with the positive brake. It seems like it, but I don't know if it's positive or negative.
Yeah. But again, we have here Nergish still behind Person. Actually got a better run than Person there, I think.
Ooh, this is interesting now.
Going into 130R.
But it's going to have so much lack of downforce.
Yeah, he's actually
he needed to brake.
Yeah, and he actually compromised his line trying to scare Person off of his line there, but Person a very a man that can work under pressure, so he won't be scared by that. But yeah, again, it's Alexis can make a lot up on the straight, but he doesn't have quite enough in the corners, I think, to keep up. Or to pass, I would say, because he can keep up, but he can't quite pass.
I think we have a new Pokemon in the battle. Falkenberg arrived, right?
Yeah, he's right onto the back of Wansink there, well spotted. He's back, if I'm not mistaken, I think he went off earlier, but I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah, he went off on Yerpin.
Ah,
I
yes.
I don't know the number of the turn, but...
Yeah. So, yeah, doing a good job to catch up.
He's not doing well. He's doing way faster than these guys, but the fastest lap time is not that faster. So I don't know what's happening. Interesting fact, like the fastest lap of Niergish is 2.9. Fastest lap of Wansink, for example, is 2.4. Fastest lap of Domi is 3.2, and Harvey 2.8. So clearly, Wansink is faster, but he just can't overtake. When Niergish is faster than Domi, but he can't overtake. So this is really a hard track to overtake.
And Neriash again with a really good run through 130R, maybe. Oh, he's actually a bit closer than he's been before. But again, not quite enough, I think, but we do really have a train forming here now. So, I think we will see that battle unfolding soon here. Harvey at the front of that train, but can't quite pull away. Something interesting to note, though, is that Falkenberg at the back of the train is definitely faster than everyone in front of him here. He's been putting in consistently faster lap times than the guys in front, so he just has to make the overtakes work.
Let's see if he can actually put... The Ferrari seems a very fast car here. We saw that in the top 10 there were... I saw at least 5 Ferraris or 6 Ferraris.
Yeah, I think overall the Ferrari is a very good car if you can drive it. Personally, I don't really have the correct driving style for it. I think that it's a very very nervous car, you could say. You have to really constantly adjust. Yeah, it's really agile car, but again, I think it's quite difficult to drive. So, but you know, for the people that can manage it, props to them. But yeah, we really have a nice train going on here, and this is all technically for the battle for P7 here. Harvey leading the train, and no one really making quite enough gains to overtake the other one, but we do see, however, Falkenberg is quite close to one sink here as we go into the chicane, but I know the Porsche has quite a good good acceleration out of the corner. So we see one sink now onto the back of Njergish. I'm not sure if he'll be close enough. Again, the Lex is really fast on the straight, so even with slipstream, one sink here is struggling to overtake. But again, ooh, Falkenberg just squeezes in between one sink there, but he does let one sink pass there again. I think he kind of recognized that it was a bit of a dive bomb and actually gave the position back, so that's nice to see from Falkenberg. Oh, we actually see someone going off. Who was that? I'm not sure. No one of this group, I think? No. Okay, so that was a back marker. So as the darkness is setting in here, the battles are unfolding a little bit, with Njergish now trying to catch up to Arby as he got past Domi. Oh, I think it actually was Domi that might have went off track there for a little bit. But yeah, so far nothing much happening. Let's go to the front for a little bit here. As we see now, I think Arnsman is actually slowly starting to creep his way back up to the back of Lawrence. I know he was a couple of laps ago, I should say, he was about 2 seconds away, and now he's 1.6, so he's slowly dragging that time back, but we will have to see if that's enough. And again, once he hits that dirty air, it might be difficult for him to keep onto the back of Lawrence. I think I'm not sure if my co-commentator is here, but I seem to have some issues. Yeah. Oh, okay. Discord seemed to have some issues there, so.
Was alone.
Yeah, that's not great when that happens during a race, but
yeah, sorry. I even thought that the stream went down, so sorry. Let's just forget. Let's focus on the race.
Yeah, so I was saying that, and I'm not sure if you heard me, but Arnsman, he is slowly creeping his way back up to Lawrence, it seems. Slowly gaining time back. Because he was 2 seconds behind, and now he's only 1.6, but...
was actually not focusing on the front, but oh yeah, 1/2 a second last lap.
And in the meanwhile, I think I missed this, but Njergish actually got past Harby now, so Njergish up into P7 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that will put him up into P7, so Njergish really starting to pick up the pace here, and actually, you know, towards the end of the race we might actually see him crawl towards the front, maybe even get a top 5 if he can keep the pace up. And Domi Persson seems to be struggling a little bit, as Wansink now also is catching up to him. Again, he still has that Mercedes power to get him, or the Daimler power, I should say, to drag him across those straights. Will be really nice for him.
In this, I lost the battle for. I lost the battle for Njergish passing all of them.
Yeah, we did seem to miss that a little bit, but another pass that might be coming up soon here is P11 and P12 here. Luke Levens, Martins, and Alex Fretwell. Sorry. Fretwell has been putting in pace that has been consistently faster. So he's been about a second faster every lap. So see if Fretwell can make anything work here soon.
Oh, Fretwell pity. So he's going for the early pit stop, and so he's going for the undercut.
Oh, for me, Fretwell didn't pit yet. I'm not sure.
Oh, really? He pitted for me.
I think... I'm not sure, but I don't think he did yet. But, yeah. Maybe your HUD is showing something differently.
Okay. So, Vettel, for example, he pitted for me. Phillips pitted for me.
I can see for me, Falkenberg, Phillips, and Sharma pitted. But not... Fretwell still says that he has to pit for me.
Oh yeah, Falkenberg, sorry.
Man.
I confused the names. They're the same. They start with an F.
These new Portuguese commentators.
Well, I'm way better than with names this time. You have to say that I didn't butcher Nierges yet.
Yeah, that's good actually. That's perfect. I think that's a perfect
Right?
pronunciation. And if it's not, we'll just pretend it is. Because we put enough effort into trying to pronounce that name.
Yeah, I spent a week trying to learn not to say that name.
But yeah, Fretwell in the meanwhile, not quite enough it seems to overtake Martins at the moment. And here he's actually closing up as we speak. See if he can get a good run here. But he should be trying to make this move sooner rather than later, because he is losing a lot of time behind Levens there. Or they're actually going to go side by side in the double right-hander. Ooh, very close. He's actually going to try it around the outside. Very optimistic, but he can't get it done. Nice try though from Fretwell, and most importantly, he kept it clean, so... But yeah, he's definitely looking to get past Levens Martins here. In the meanwhile, at the front, Arnsman still just slowly picking away a couple of hundredths a lap from Lawrence, so definitely has the pace to catch up to Lawrence, but again, in the dirty air, we might see him not being able to get quite close enough for an overtake.
It's incredible how one thing gains 0.3 seconds in just one braking zone compared to the Mercedes.
Yeah, it's yeah, like I said, the Porsche is definitely the best car on the brakes from any car on the grid, so that's where it makes up most of its time that it gives up on the straight. So yeah, is for instance, I know when I was talking last season when I was trying to do Bathurst and I was in the BMW, I know down the hill, going into the braking zone, I think the Porsche braked about 30 or 40 meters later than the BMW.
Ooh, so much.
Yeah. Just because obviously the BMW is going faster, but it's also
BMW is faster, yeah.
But it's also the heaviest car on the grid, so... And I think the Porsche is one of the lighter ones, but the Porsche just has just has great braking performance overall, so... But again, Fretwell just not closing up quite enough here. So, he actually here towards Rainikari, as he's been behind Layson for P4, P3 and P4 here. Actually closing up quite a bit here and looking to attack Layson. Layson already going slightly defensive, it seems, into the chicane, so if Renikari can actually put some kind of...
And just an update, Arsman is gaining a lot of time on Lawrence. Johnston is very good on tires.
Yeah, so maybe that's something that we have to keep in consideration, that the... I'm not sure how the Aston is on tires. I don't think it's supposed to be great on tires either compared to the Merc.
Yeah, it wasn't very good on Kialami, right? Like Arsman was super good on the first part of the stint. That's why he kept running away at the first part of the stint, and then Lawrence just punched at the end of the stint and actually got a 6-second gap when Arsman pitted. Even got a bigger gap, and then Arsman closed the gap, but then mid-stint lost it.
Yeah, so that'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, Arsman definitely making a lot of gains now on Lawrence, so it'll be interesting to see what the pit strategies are going to be for everyone. And if, well, again, we keep saying it, but the pit, really, if you can nail your pit stop, that makes a lot of time difference. So see here, actually, as Luke Levins Martins, let's go back to him for P11 here. Fretwell is seems to be kind of stuck behind him now. He's gotten in between. He was running about a second faster per lap, and then once he got behind Levins, he just kind of slowed up, it seems. So yeah, nothing happening there from the moment.
Renikari, it's still behind Leishon.
Yeah, actually really close up into the...
And another Aston Martin, so...
Yeah, I think Layson and Renikari here definitely a good match for each other in this race. So we'll see them probably battling towards the end of the race, and then we also have the possibility of Arnsman catching up to Lawrence again. So this is looking good with about 15 minutes to go. But yeah, it's actually towards the front here again. So Lawrence still in the lead, but again, Arnsman just picking away at that lead and gaining about a 10th every lap, I think, at the moment. And he's really he's starting to get into that slipstream range again, so he might be closing up even more soon. We now see, I think we have someone coming in, so Levins Martins is gonna go into the pit for his pit stop, I think.
I think Marcus Lawrence last time on Paul Ricard did this more or less the same thing, where he pitted halfway.
Yeah, this gonna be interesting to see how they play it here, because I do think maybe that Arnsman should try and keep out as long as he can, because I assume, I'm not sure, but I think they won't take tires. Maybe just fuel, but again, I'm not sure how much fuel they need, so they might as well take tires when they're taking fuel. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the last time they took tires because Eric said that the tires were gone, so not gone, but
yeah,
it was just better to take tires, a better option.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, assuming they both take tires, it's gonna be very interesting. But I still think Arnsman should maybe try to overcut. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because we can see the lap times, and the best lap time of Arsman, for example, it's a second or almost a second and a half slower than his lap time right now. Best lap time, sorry. So if he puts new tires, he can actually be even faster because the temperatures are probably cooler.
Yeah, so it's either... I think he either has to bet on an undercut or go for the overcut. But maybe even the undercut is gonna be the better strategy. I'm not sure where that will put him, if that will put him in traffic, but might actually be the best bet for him to just take the new tires, try to get some good laps in, and then try to get out ahead in front of Lawrence. Now see here, I think, oh, never mind. So actually, something we've missed, I actually missed Njergish going into the pit, so he made his pit stop. Just dropped him down back to 13th.
And Falkenberg is really behind them, so
yeah.
Falkenberg was behind the train of P10, P11, P9, P8, P7. And Njergish is really under pressure, and we know that Falkenberg was faster than Njergish.
Yeah, if we look at the of the fastest times of Njergish is a 2:02.5 and Falkenberg of 2:01.7, so 0.8 faster. Falkenberg on his fastest lap, and we've definitely seen his race pace is quite a bit faster as well than the guys in front of him. So, but so far, not a lot of people pitting yet. I think. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see when people are gonna decide to pit. If some people will try to make a long stint, because obviously the track will be getting colder, it's getting more rubbered in, so it might be a bit better on the tires.
I believe it would be not a bad strategy from Falkenberg, even though he's going to suffer a lot on the end of the stint. But I think it's a good strategy that he has he had like the tires on a big light track, and now the track is rubber, so the tires don't suffer a lot, and he can just use the tires.
Yeah, it's interesting to see as well. I don't think so far it seems like the weather has actually cleared up. No more big clouds anywhere, so I don't think we'll be seeing rain in this race, I should say. So
it seems like we have been some strokes.
Yeah, it's like...
Sorry.
It's a coronavirus that's getting to me now.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see here how it all plays out. But the cars definitely look awesome at the moment with the sparks flying off in the dark as they go over curbs and such.
Yeah, so what I predict was 45 laps. I believe it's not going to be that. It's going to be around 43, 42. Count with 42, 43. Just by head, I don't know. I did the calculations on the spot. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah. It's a shame they don't teach maths in Portugal. But yeah, so we're about halfway now, just over halfway, and we do see a lot of people pitting now. So Layson came in, Renikari also came in, Hawa came in for the pits, Harvey also came in. So yeah, a lot of people just electing to pit at the halfway mark.
Lawrence came in. And Arnsman is out. So Arnsman is going for the overcut, and Lawrence is doing the normal thing, which is midway. Let's see what Arnsman does.
Yeah, the question will now be, of course, where is Lawrence gonna end up? Is he gonna end up in any traffic? Because that could actually help Arnsman, as he's in completely clean air now, and he can just push on.
In giving my 2 cents, I said on the stream before that I said, like, I'm going to contradict myself, but I think that Arsman had to do the undercut, because if he wanted to be in front, he had to have the best lap times, and when Marcus exited the pits, he had to be behind him. So I think by doing this, Arsman is just saving the tires. He's going to be faster, but this track is not easy to overtake in.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it doesn't really help him a lot. Where Marcus has all the control of the race right now, he just he just did an undercut, not an undercut, he just protected himself. He's going to put fast laps, he's going to be even further from Arsman. Arsman is going to have fresh tires, he's going to come in hard to Lawrence, but he has the track advantage of being a difficult track to overtake.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how Marcus Lawrence's first laps are gonna look and how much faster they're gonna be, and then we can kind of get an idea of if it's gonna work out for Arnsman or Lawrence. But interesting development as well while you were talking there. OneSync actually got a drive-through penalty, I think maybe for track limits or something like that, and he just decided to pull off and call it a night. So he's out of the race. So we have 16 runners remaining, so we're already down to 16 from 23. Would have been nicer to see a couple more people participate in the endurance race, but I think there's a lot of people where lives are getting back up to speed, and probably not that much time anymore.
It's the rocket launch, come on.
Yeah, that's... Oh, Marcus Lawrence with a massive mistake! Massive mistake into 130R. He just had... Oh, that is...
Car is smashed.
That is devastating. Wow, let's see if we can get a replay.
This car is smashed. Oh, he's on the pins.
Oh my god, I don't even know what happened there. So he goes for 130R, and he just snap oversteer behind Domi Person in the dirty air there, and just goes head on into the barrier on the outside. That is...
I never saw someone get so, like, that smashed.
Yeah, that is, wow. What a shame for Lawrence, but... Yeah, that's
the last time I saw something like that was my ex-girlfriend with some guy that I caught cheating on.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I won't let's continue.
I'm not depressed.
Anyway, we're down to 15 runners. So the leader of the race, Marcus Lawrence, actually out of the race. That's a big twist, and he will actually not get any points for this round.
That's entertaining, actually.
Yeah, that's
for the championship.
I didn't expect it to happen, and certainly not at 130R. That was a big surprise, where he just got that snap oversteer and behind Domi there. So this does mean that Arnsman probably has a clean run till the end of the race, and he doesn't even need to push that much. He can just, keep it all together, just run a nice smooth pace, doesn't need to push, and then he'll be winning this race.
And the thing is, like, Arsman probably doesn't even know, or does he?
No, he probably doesn't. He probably didn't realize yet because on his relative, he probably isn't looking at the relative at the moment, and he won't know until he comes out of the pits, I think. And he's actually in the lead. Well, I think by now he probably knows that he's in the lead, and obviously he's not gonna have any idea what has happened to Lawrence. But yeah, for him, this race is gonna be completely safe.
Well, let's see what 130 has to offer to him.
Yeah. Maybe if he gets up behind some traffic in 130R and gets some dirty air, that he might be in the same position. So
40 minutes to go.
Yeah. But anyway, by normal standards, if he can just run a clean race, he should be on for the victory. I don't see anyone beating him on pace on the track at the moment.
He is really fast. Right now, he's 1 second faster than one and a half. No, 7/10 faster than Leishon, which is second virtually.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think Domi Person is the only driver that hasn't pitted yet, as he runs a little bit wide going onto the back straight. Be interesting to see, because I mean, the Mercedes must be struggling at this point now with the tires, the front tires especially. It must be.
To be honest, I think it will probably just overtake these, or just try to reach these. Try to reach the back marker and or get the slipstream of the back marker and pull into the pits.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Because he has the blue flags. He doesn't need to.
He's definitely choosing to stay out here, which is interesting. So maybe his strategy is just to run out the fuel of his tank and then take the pit stop. But I mean, Person definitely seems to be struggling here, because in the last 3 corners I've seen him run wide, so he must be struggling on the tires. But maybe
Tires not happy.
Yeah, maybe it's just better for him to come in next time around. So we do see.
Domi was around P7, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was around Nerges, Falkenberg, around those guys, I think.
Okay, so let's do some predictions. So right now, well, sorry guys, I'm counting.
Yeah, he still has to count on his fingers. He just learned that, so he's trying to get the grips with it. But and meanwhile, yeah, Arnsman just overtook Person already, so actually has more than lapped Person at this time, because Person still has to pit. So we'll actually see here, because Person is really struggling on the tires, it seems. Let's see if he actually comes in this time around. So let's see here, he comes up to the last chicane. Is he gonna pull in? I hope he does. No, still not gonna pull in.
I actually believe that Domi with this strategy can still be P6, P7, which is pretty impressive for someone that has some wrecked tires.
I mean, you say that, he has run wide every time in turn 1, and he is that lap he was about 3.5 seconds slower than the guys around that. Oh, yeah, as he gets tapped now.
I mean that by adding 22 seconds plus 3 seconds plus 8 seconds plus 5 seconds, which is a drive-through more the pit stop. I think it's some fair amount, and he's going to have like half an hour fresh tires, which is not 40 or 5-minute fresh tires like I was talking about a minute ago, like Arsman and Lawrence.
Yeah. Currently he has so he got that slide tap into the S section by one of the back markers, so that does mean he has lost about 12 seconds this lap already.
Oof.
Which is not great, so that will I think
Okay,
has
now
kind of
he's
messed up
going-
his
now-
strategy.
Yeah, now he's...
But yeah, I think for the most part the battles have kind of petered out a little bit, but again, we see Domi Person as he eventually comes into the pits, he'll be on very fresh tires, and at least he'll have the tires to attack the guys in front of him if he's not too far behind.
Oh, he's going for another lap. Let's go, boy. I think this is his last lap. He's going for the half an hour mark. I would, like, in my mind, if I had a personal goal.
Oh! And again, someone behind him. That is not great there. Not Colin Tuck. But his teammate. I think that was Elms, yeah. So Elms, of course, the new debut for well, I think he did last race, if I'm not mistaken, but new driver for the Priory Racing team, and he's not shown the best side of himself today, because I was just I mean, it seemed like he almost didn't break into turn 1 there, or into turn 2. I don't know what that was.
I think, yeah, the blue flags. You know that Domi was, so just could have waited for a straight, even though it's difficult because he was on the Aston.
Yeah. But yeah.
But he knows that. I don't know if the drivers have the information that he has to pit, but he knows that if he's slow, he probably has to pit. So he's not going to last much longer on those tires. So he just has to wait.
Yeah, I do believe the drivers can also get kind of a glimpse as well if they look at the different leaderboards to see who still has to pit. So I think that is definitely an option.
One interesting thing that I'm kind of getting interested in is the battle for P2, because Tennessee, as usual, is starting to get faster than Leishon. So he got away from Hawa, and Tom is still out for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think Domi's just gonna lose time by the fact that he's been spun out twice, so his tires will surely have had. He's gonna have some flat spots. There's gonna be dirt on the tires. So
yeah.
He's definitely gonna be losing time this way. He stays out.
And he just spun because he had no tire wear.
Yeah. So.
And he crashed into the Nazi. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he should have probably, after the second time he got hit there, he should have just been pulling into the pits.
Yeah, it's just a poor strategy, like a poor management. on the strategy.
So yeah, unfortunate to see. But yeah, like you said, the Nacy definitely looking at last lap, 1.8 seconds faster than Layson, so the Nacy is definitely in for a P2 here if he can keep this pace up. Meanwhile, we see Arnsman who's putting 201.1s. So,
which is almost 2 seconds faster than P3, which is faster than P2.
yeah, exactly.
So
his best lap also about a second faster, I think, than the next best lap, which is P2. So yeah, Arnsman definitely not letting off the pace here. Still very, very much pushing. But that's good to see that he's gonna keep pushing until the end.
This is Mercedes terrain. The Nazy, although has to pass some back markers, and Leishon already did that, so
yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they let him through here, because the section not quite a place where you want to let people overtake. Maybe the Nacy is trying to force it a little bit, but okay, he gets around back.
Oh, actually, we might have some interesting battle with Reinikari.
Yeah, Reinikari also looking quite good here. Let's see here, actually. Yeah, so the Nacy in third.
Because of the incident with Domi, the Nacy got spun by Domi. Reinikari closed the gap up. And I don't know how fast Reinikari is compared to Domi. So let's see.
But yeah, meanwhile, Arnsman still putting in great laps. It's still around that 201 mark, and yeah, he's just pushing onwards. I don't think we have any major battles going on at the moment. You might see the Nacy challenging Layson further into the race, and Reinikari is keeping up with the Nacy at the moment, so you might see those two closing up to Layson towards the end of the race. Here, Niergish in the meanwhile in P6, so he's done really well throughout the race. And I don't know if he actually qualified on accident this race, but if he's worked his way from the back, then he actually did really well. Yeah, unfortunately one sync has dropped. Then Hawa in 5th place as well, so the team of the Nacy and Hawa, AOSP, definitely putting out a good showing here, being 3rd and 5th. So that'll be a nice point game for them in the team standings. Again, we're having some Discord issues, so...
If you want to leave, just leave. Like, it's up to you, boy.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, so we're having some issues.
If you don't want to be my friend,
yeah.
If you want to do this alone, do it alone. Like,
yeah,
I already received my contract. I already have my money.
Yeah. Yeah, I think now is the time to tell you then that I actually don't want to commentate with you. I just wanted to give you the money to go away. That was, yeah. But it didn't work. You kind of stayed, so...
Okay.
But yeah, as people have noticed, Discord is having some issues, so... Might see Pedro drop out once in a while. Discord, wink, is having some issues.
Discord always has issues. Hashtag no wet. No, let's call it our communication program, because we don't want to, we don't receive money from any organization of, if Skype reach out to us, we will use Skype.
We
Wink,
actually
wink.
just had Nergesh there coming out of the last corner. He went wide. I don't know how he pulled it off, but he went really wide into the gravel and nearly hit the wall. But he managed to just save it.
Why do we always, like at the end of the race, we always talk about random shit that doesn't, like, it's just not about racing, it's always about money.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's just, sorry guys, but like, everyone is split up, it's a 1.5 hour race, so it's obvious that in an endurance race, things kind of spread out, so...
It's actually, I think it's probably the perfect time here to go on board with Thomas Arnsman for a lap or two, and let his driving do the talking here for a little bit. So we'll be back in just a moment. So as we come back here, Arsman definitely looking really comfortable in the car at the moment, and he's just riding his way to a victory, I think. And no real battles going on at the moment. I think the Nazi has dropped back a bit from Layson now, so not quite able to...
Yeah, but sorry to interrupt, but there is kind of a battle with Rainy Kari and the Nazi. They are pretty close. The Nazi got some lack of downforce from Elmis, and he drifted wide on Spoon. He got some marbles on the tires and got some bad traction on the straight, and now just can't get out of the toe. It's not like a dangerous battle, but it's still 0.9, 0.8 within range.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the closest battle that we have at the moment, so...
In public lobby terms, in dive bomb range.
Exactly. So, you know, Renikari, if he sees the opportunity and he's about within 100 meters, then he should go for it. And I think he is within 100 meters right now, so he should definitely just send it somewhere.
Don't brake, use the side of the car as a wall, like in Forza.
Yeah, as long as you can slow down, you know, it works.
Approved.
Yeah, so far Renikari not quite catching up, but see that change towards the end of the race.
Okay, since this is pretty calm.
Yes.
What's your... Do you see a lot of races in Suzuka?
You mean like just in real life?
Yeah.
I've seen a bit, but I don't think. I mean, for like F1 and stuff, it gets raced a lot, but I think in general it doesn't. I know GT3s come there once in a while, but I don't know. I don't think it gets that much coverage, or that it seems to be like that at least.
So you never saw that? You never saw those like how do you say, like Formula Asia, Formula Asia, I think, where they do like those crazy pit stops where they only have 3 guys and...
Oh, I've seen those videos where they like jump over the car and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty cool, and they still get like really good pit stop times as well, considering they only have like 3 guys. But yeah, that's some like crazy stuff, because they like slide over the booth, like the front of the car and stuff, and yeah, really cool.
So when is that kind of implemented on Assetto Corsa? That's my question.
I mean, when is it gonna be implemented in blank pane? That's what you should ask, you know? Exactly. They should do it, then we can actually see someone like sliding over the front of like a Ferrari or whatever, trying to get to the other side.
Oh, Ferrari? Nah. You can't touch a Ferrari like that. With your ass? On a bonnet? Nah.
I mean, someone has to do it. For once.
Yeah, but like, it's like Ferrari, it's not allowed. Like, touch in any disgusting party, touching any disgusting party on a Ferrari, it's illegal. You have to pay 10,000 euros. The Ferrari knows.
I mean, that's the thing. I think you can do it with a Ferrari just as long as you have enough money. So.
Oh. So Stroll is what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Just buy all the Ferraris that you can.
Just pay enough and then you can do whatever you want. But and then meanwhile, Is this a battle going on? Nope, it is not. I thought Elms was gonna be in a battle here, but...
No, Elms is almost next to Tuck, although...
Elms should be probably, he's getting the blue flags here, so he should be...
He's not really giving up. It's really getting pretty conservative. Like, he's not doing anything bad, unless this is like a mandatory blue flags. If it's informative blue flags, then if it's informative blue flags, he's doing everything right. If it's mandatory blue flags, he should keep up the position. Because the difference for the viewers that don't know, the difference between mandatory blue flags is that you have within some certain number of blue flags you have to keep up the position, and the informative blue flags, for example, 24 hours of Nürburgring, where there are such immense numbers of cars, they give out the informative blue flag, which is, you know, there is a faster car behind you, but you just do your normal racing line, and if the car behind can't pass you, it's not your fault. It's up to the car behind to pass you. It's not up to you to just pull over and slow down.
Yeah.
You do your thing.
But I think in that respect, there's also a, I think you can make it, definitely can make it slightly easier for the car in front.
Yeah. Oh, like if the car in front really puts the nose in and goes for the braking zone, you always have to like brake earlier and don't turn in like if there is nothing there. Obviously there are etiquettes that you have to follow.
Yeah, with about 10 minutes remaining, we're down to 14 runners only. So we actually at our last place runner Sharma here somehow managed to get 19 laps behind of the leader. I'm not sure, he probably came into the pits at a tow or something to repair damage, or I don't think, well actually I don't think you can tow on this, but he's probably had to come in for repairs a couple of times, and that's why he's lost quite a bit of laps, but he's still going, so props to him.
He can still finish. Oh, he can still finish in front of well, let me see, 10 laps, 5 laps, 17, 22. Oh, he can finish in front of Wonsing. He has to be fast though. Not doing this for sure.
Yeah. They're running a bit wide there in T1. Let's see. Yeah, he's actually gonna let the person through, so yeah, if he gets a bit of a move on, then he can still make up a couple of positions of people that gave up. But I don't think we'll see him do that at this rate. But again, it's already nice to see he's actually stuck in. Yeah, and he's actually trying to complete the race here, so that's good, for his experience and all that, so yeah.
So we got the Nazi that has to gain a second per minute. So he has to be 2 seconds per lap faster. And he is 1 second per lap faster, so it's not enough.
Yeah, if he...
Let's see.
I mean, I guess somewhere, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but I guess somewhere he did make a mistake there, because he definitely was closer at some point to lace on. But Yeah, then all of a sudden he started dropping off again, so I'm not sure what happened there, but definitely has the potential. Maybe if he can, you know, within the next 2 laps, if he can just get close enough where Layson feels the pressure, then maybe he'll be able to do something. But yeah, at this rate,
Yeah, but the thing is, like, either Leishon does like 2:04.5, or Danese does the best lap times of his race every single lap until the end. And he's not doing that, he's 0.6 up. So it's like we want this battle, but it's hard.
yeah, at this rate, it's definitely not going to happen. And I think, I mean, maybe even Layson might be just taking it a bit easy at the moment, just trying to complete the race, not make any mistakes. So that's maybe why we see him go a bit slower here. He's just trying to conserve and just bring P2 home. So that could also be a thing.
Like 0.8, almost a second. So like it's just
Yeah, just out of range, unfortunately.
yeah, and like these are Arsman and Lawrence. They proved to be super fast, and like in terms of this league, they are like the aliens. But I always enjoy to see Leishon and Danese driving. I still need to learn, like, see other drivers. It's just like I like to see them, these drivers for now. Because at least Danese usually always have like a bad quali, and then he goes through the grid, like in Kyalami, the Lamborghini driver, who was it? Who actually spun on the last turn and had to do back to the front. He finished in P4 or P3. Do you remember?
I don't.
Yeah, but it was an amazing. Oh, and the Nazi crashed on 130R.
Oh no.
But not very heavily.
Oh.
And
Wow, amazing avoiding skills though from the 2 primary drivers. Let's take a look at that again. I want to see that one.
Oh, that was the best action that we saw from like in 5 minutes.
So it all starts with the Nazi just taking a bit too much of the curb on 130R, so slightly taps the wall, sends Renikari through into P3, then rejoins onto the apex, and yeah, the 2 Friary drivers done very well there to avoid him. But, oh, that's a shame for the Nazi, because that would have been his first podium if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
So yeah. But he's actually gifted the podium to Renikari now, which will actually see Renikari for his first time on the podium. But the same with Layson, I think it's also his first podium. So
If the Ferrari didn't miss, it would be like the second SpaceX launch today.
Exactly. We've already seen Marcus Lawrence launch his rocket into space, but the Nazi, the second one. A lot of missile launches going on today.
Discounting the North Korea ones, obviously.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Getting dark real fast there.
Yeah, it's actually getting dark. It's 9.5 here. GMT plus 1. And like I was saying, the Nazi, it's goes from the back and usually very consistent. I was going to say consistent, but it crashed, so I didn't say it, and it was good for me, I guess.
Yeah, Echo
And
actually. Echo says in the chat that it wasn't to Sapche, and then he corrected saying space, and then he said XD. So, I mean, he can say all what he wants, but we know what we seen, and
yeah,
that was just a missile. That's all we can say.
It was to Narnia. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, shame to see the Nazi here just fall outside of the prizes here today. Now has his teammate right behind him as well, Hawa. Or not right behind him, but no, there's a car in between them. But yeah, that's a real shame for the Nazi. I would have liked to see him get his first podium after all his good performances so far.
And Leishon, it's very consistent. Like if it starts, for example, before, we always see like him around that position. He doesn't go crazy like forward or backwards. You know what I mean? He always stays up there.
Yeah, he's definitely very consistent in his pace, and I haven't seen him make a lot of mistakes. So what he lacks maybe slightly in pace, he makes up with consistency, definitely.
Like if he qualifies P5, we maximum see him P3 or P7, let's say. Like he's always within that range. Like
yeah, definitely always puts up a really solid performance. There's nothing really you can critique about him. He always puts in a really solid race.
Unless there is something unfortunate, obviously. But
yeah.
Within the norm.
But
Rainy Curry, it's a new guy, right?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if we've seen him last race, but I think he might be new for this race. So
he raced last race. I know him.
Yeah.
I know him because he was around top 10.
Yeah, he might be from
or around that, but
yeah. So he must have started at a KLM or something.
Yeah, I don't know if he finished top 10, but he was around top 10.
So we have Arnsman here coming around 130R, obviously on his last lap, going into the last chicane. Again, very solid drive for Arnsman, and he's managed to pick it all up and get his first win here at Suzuka for round 5 of the PCDC ACC League. There he goes. Obviously, he's going to be very happy.
The leader has finished the race.
And
go ahead.
And shout out to Sharma for actually being persistent.
Yeah, definitely. Here, where Sharma is, he's still going around.
And number 44, P14.
Yeah, we'll see here.
47, sorry.
Laysan now on the back straight in P2. I'm guessing he'll be very, very happy with that one. As he comes into the last chicane. Also just rounding out his race.
Howard
really,
finished to
nothing.
P13.
Yeah. Levins Martins.
Yep. Yeah. Person.
Rennie Kari now coming under the last corner as well. Would I think Harvey behind him?
Station, Harvey. Sharma.
So the unfortunate Denesi comes across the line here together with his teammate Hawa.
Denesi, Hawa.
Then in 6th we have Falkenberg now coming out of the last corner as well. Like the finish, and then we have one more, which is Nirgesh. also looking to finish. So not much finishers today, but props to the people that stayed into the session. And we'll actually see here if we can get a quick interview with the winner before we end our stream here. So let's see if I can get him in here. Hello, Thomas. Are you here?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Oh,
Hey.
very nice. So, your first victory in the PCDC ACC League, how does it feel?
Feels great. I really enjoyed the race. I just hoped I could have battled Marcus to the end, but I don't know what happened, but unfortunately,
Yeah, so unfortunately we saw Marcus Lawrence, who was in the lead before you. He actually had a snap oversteer moment into 130R, and that ended his race as he went head on into the barrier. But
He went to Narnia. We just
Yeah.
we can say it.
It was the official second SpaceX launch we saw. But
well, really, I really hope he made it into the race then.
Yeah, he completely shattered this car. You should see it. It was completely wrecked. Oh man, what a shame.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely been good to see because you've definitely shown your pace over the past couple of rounds. So it only took a bit of luck, I guess, for you to get a win here, and so congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, we will see you for the next round, I assume.
Probably yes. So see you guys then.
All right, congratulations.
Congrats.
Bye.
But
All right, and I think that will be enough for today. And if you guys watching want any more information or would like to join our league, you can head to pcdc.link. You'll find a link to the Discord there, I believe. You can also check out the races again at youtube.com/pcdc motorsports. And you can also find our Twitter at www.twitter.com/pcdc motorsports. And then there's nothing more for me and Pedro to say than farewell.
yeah, I have some words too. For the guy that smashed my girlfriend.
All right, see you guys next week.